Blantyre City, Sochi Zingwangwa constituency.
Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker. First and foremost, let me also join the Leader of Opposition in congratulating the Minister of Lands. Very good presentation of the speech. The report, it brings in reforms, positive reforms. So well done, Minister. Further, First Deputy Speaker, maybe questions. I've grown up in Nkologosa. My landlord has been the minister for quite a number of years. And I know in Nkologosa, we were told not to refer to areas like Nkologosa, Chitawira, Zingwangwa, Naperi, Sochist as the ghetto because these areas were perceived to be uptown, more urban. However, Mr. Speaker, sir, growing up in these communities, I know the poverty that is in these areas. There are widows who are occupying Malawi Housing Corporation houses. There are child-headed households occupying these houses, of which the minister is the landlord. Now, some of these families have stayed in these houses for 30 years, for instance, 40 years. I don't know, is it possible for the government to start considering alternatives based on the mandate of the minister to provide decent and affordable housing? Maybe we could consider these families, these widows, these orphans who've stayed in these houses for years. Maybe they could rent to own. Going further, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, we have seen the Ministry of Lands and Housing presenting budgets on houses for police, army. Can we not extend these initiatives to teachers, clinicians, for instance? Because this is potential business for the ministry. Imagine if the ministry was to construct housing houses for teachers, for instance, and these teachers get to rent to buy. So when we come up with the rent amount, there should be a certain amount dedicated long-term to buying these houses. In so doing, we end up easing the pressure that is there on urban housing. Further, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, again, I come from Nkologosa. Nkologosa, Chitawira, Naperi, Sochist. And I would be safe to say I speak for the whole Blantyre with regards to areas that are owned by, that are under the landlordship of the Ministry of Lands. We don't have a decent road, nowhere. City Assembly refers the issue to housing. So as a landlord, my plea is please, as we are making these reforms, let's also consider making these urban spaces as decent as we can. Most of these places are in the heart of our cities. Lastly, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, where I come from, tomorrow, or 1st May rather, they'll start paying rentals with an increment of 20%. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, it's value for money. We understand that we also need to move with the economic pace, but the ministry should consider making these spaces more decent so that the value for money should be appreciated by the tenants. Thank you so much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir. I hope and I believe I've spoken on behalf of the people of Zingwangwa, Sochi constituency, more especially those who are occupying Malawi housing houses. Thank you.
Thank you.
Blantyre Sochi Zingwangwa, KS9, that's your house. I know it because I've seen you grow from that house. You have brought in a proposal that widows and child-headed families, they should be considered on a rent-to-own basis. That is more of a policy question, which, as a ministry, maybe with other stakeholders, we should sit down and discuss and see the possibility of looking at that angle. But also let me bring to your attention and the attention of the House that at the moment, there's a moratorium that is in place that houses belonging to the Minister of Lands and Malay Housing should not be sold due to other technical issues. Maybe if this would be uplifted, that would be considered, but it's a policy that needs to be discussed at cabinet level and decisions to be made. You also put up a good proposal that of late we have constructed houses for our security agencies, Malay Defense Force, Malay Police Force, Immigration, and Prison. And your desire is that maybe we extend to other essential service providers. Again, very good proposal coming from a youthful member of parliament who I think has the welfare of his constituents and Malawians at heart, but we have to get back to the office, discuss it further, and see the possibilities. I think it's a doable project, all funds permitting, just as we did with the defense and police services and others. At an opportune time, find time, come to my office, bring those brilliant ideas, then I share with the cabinet and others for that policy to be taken into consideration. You also brought up an issue. You also brought up an issue of roads. As I've responded to the question by the leader of opposition, yes, most of our roads are in bad state, and we are trying to get development charges, some parts of these rents, to maintain them so that they should be passable. And lastly, you put up a proposal that we should also maintain the houses that we own so that they should be habitable and fit value for the money. It has been a complaint from our tenants, and we have decided to look into this. Moving forward, you will see a different face of our houses that we own.